And so first up, we have Luisa and Danny.
Give them a hand. Come on.
And we'll get y'all, Mike. Who's going
Here,
to
you guys get in the middle.
ladies first? Or you got it, Danny?
Yes, I got it.
Awesome. So thank you guys for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about yourselves, when you joined. And
My name is Danny Garcia. It's my wife, Luisa. We joined about 2 years ago. And the way this came about was I'm a mechanic by trade, and I was already looking for a shop. I wanted to have my own business and building clientele. And I was saving up some money, and one of my buddies, who is a passive, told me, hey, before you get started, come check this out. And I was like, okay, I'll go check it out. We'll see what's going on. And when I came in, I was like, wow. And it was a wow moment. So
Right.
absolutely, it's a life-changing.
awesome. So were y'all both on board? Was she supporting you, or?
Yeah, absolutely. She's always there for me.
That doesn't often happen. Sometimes,
That makes
sometimes you get the fighting going
Right,
on.
happy life, happy life. That's important. So no real estate experience before coming to Lifestyle besides your personal home, right?
Right, my personal home. Yeah, I changed a couple light bulbs or whatever.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Cool. And so you referred from a member. You joined, you said, to take over your financial future, right, and build your passive income.
Right. We wanted to, well, you know, like I said, I wanted to have my own shop. I was thinking in the future, you know, I don't want to be a mechanic for the rest of my life. I don't want to be just, you know, getting older with I've seen some older mechanics and their backs are hurting, and I'm just thinking ahead. I need to plan something now, start saving, start doing something now, and that's what brought us here.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to talk about your most recent property.
That's a really big key.
Yes.
Was that your picture on your closing date or your refi?
Yeah, that was
Out
the
of the
refi.
hard money.
The
Okay.
hard money.
You'll learn about all that stuff on the
Yes.
2-day if you don't know what we're talking about. So you purchased in April of 2023. You use Lifestyles Realtors. So we have realtors here at Lifestyles Unlimited who help our members find properties. A lot of times they're off market. And you use Adrienne Costita. She's not in the room, but shout out to her, right?
Yes.
And so you purchased that through an email blast. So our members receive emails with opportunities, and that's how you found this one?
Exactly. She emailed it to us, and we were really excited for it because we were like, all right, let's go see it. And sure enough, the next day we were able to go and do the walkthrough. And I mean, you open the door and it smelled like money.
Yeah. Money
Can
or
you
cat
describe
pee?
that? Is that the cat pee smell? The cat pee smell. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
but-
take that. I'll take that smell, right? So the 3-bed, 1-bath, 936 square foot, built in 1935. Good size house, not too big, good average size house in that particular neighborhood, right? So let's take a look at the pictures. So the first one, I saw that, I'm like, where's the house? All
It's
you
a
see is
shack,
shade,
right?
yeah. So obviously you did some landscaping.
Yes, that big old bush was hiding half of the house. It was that's the first thing I did. It was chop that down, and we were able to see the rest of that house and what was behind it. But
Is that the red violation on the door? It's like, cut your trees.
as a matter of fact, it was. I had bought the property, and the city had already put some thing about the grass was overgrown in the front, the back, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Awesome. And Stratford Court, is that out near City Base?
Yes, it's near City
Southside
Base.
San Antonio. So City Base is a military base here in San Antonio, for those who don't know. Good, okay. All right, kitchen before and after. So what did y'all do here? Did you completely rip it all out and everything new?
That is correct.
Yeah, we did everything new. We had a contractor come in and they demoed the whole thing, and then they put it all back together, brand new.
Beautiful. But you didn't do the work, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I hired somebody to get it done.
Okay, good, looks great. Bathroom. I saw the first picture. Is that carpet? in
That's
the
what I was gonna say. Is that
bathroom?
carpet in the bathroom?
Yeah, sometimes you see that. It's like,
Do you remember?
First time the toilet overflows, that doesn't feel
Yes,
so
it was
good.
carpet, but when you walk through the house, there was roaches like in clumps, everywhere. And
So
it
you had that
stunk.
imagination, right? Because you've done this
Yes.
before. This
Yes,
is your second
absolutely.
property. I don't know if we mentioned that. This is property number 2 for them.
This is our second property, and as a mechanic, I would see like I would buy and sell cars, you know, and I know that hey, it looks ugly now, but when I finish it, it's gonna look
You see
good.
the potential.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. And I have to say, these guys go on road trips. They come back to 2 days. They're very active, and they reach out to me, and that's what you should do.
Here's
So
one of
let's
my,
talk about the numbers.
this is
right?
one of my favorite slides.
Yes, the numbers is what's important. The pictures, you can get emotionally attached, but at the end of the day, right, it's the numbers. So after repair value, that means the appraised value of when it's all fixed up. What is that value? 178. Now, there's something important I wanted to mention about that, because you had said something in your email that when you got the email from the realtor, that number was estimated to be much lower, right?
Right. The first of all, when you get the email blast, it shows you more or less what your cash out of
Estimated.
pocket right is
Yeah.
going to be, and they told me it was going to be about 14 to 6, I think it was 18. I think it was going to
Okay.
be 18 cash out of pocket, and the ARV was going to be about 150, and they
So
were,
their appraisal came in much higher, and that's why their cash out of pocket is only $10,300.
absolutely.
By the way, this weekend people are like, how did they do that? Don't you have to put 25% down?
Right.
No, the way, and you guys heard some vendors up here talking about all the different kinds of loans. And I'm sure for some of you it's totally confusing because you haven't heard that in lingo before. We're going to talk through all of those this weekend so that you understand the mechanics, exactly how these guys bought it and were able to only put $10,000 down on a property like this.
Right. So if every deal was like this, how many houses could you buy, right?
Yeah, a lot.
But on top of the cash out of pocket, you've got to look at the equity capture, right? That's the unrealized capital gain when they go to sell it. That's just year one. Remember, appreciation we haven't even added that in yet because every year the house is going to go up in value. And then cash flow. Now, the cash flow is nothing to be excited about, but hey, it's an extra $200 in your $205 a month in your bank account, but your cash on cash return 24%. And that number, imagine talking to a stockbroker, going into a bank, hey, I want to get a 20% cash on cash return. They'll laugh at you, right? Like, what can give me a 20% cash on cash return? And then your return on equity, over 400%. Absolutely amazing. And then we say tax-free or tax-deferred. That is completely, you go to do your taxes, and it's like you have this extra little side hustle that you're not paying taxes on. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. So that's fantastic.
Think about, for those of you who haven't taken the first step, how powerful this one deal can be. Remember, some of you probably freaked out when I put those slides up there and I said, you can get 8 to 30%. And somebody said, no way can you get 30%. These guys were within spitting distance of 30%, right? But on this deal was even more exciting on the equity capture side. Made $44,000 by spending 10. Day one. Isn't that pretty cool? Who would like to do that? Quadruple your money the day you buy a property. Isn't that pretty good? Nice.
And how many of you passed on this email blast? And maybe you shouldn't have,
Jeff.
right? Yeah, not calling anybody out, just kidding.
That is frustrating when you see a deal like this, go to case study, you're like, oh, I
And it
almost
was
had that
email
one.
blast. There was nothing, they didn't do anything special other than be responsive and be very active and proactive. And that's what has contributed to their success. So let's look at the other property. So they have 2. We presented the other one the last time they were here. That's over there near Lackland Air Force Base on the other side of San Antonio. Right. And that one, you're still getting a 475 cash flow on that one. So 680 for both. And then your annual cash flow is over $8,000, and your equity capture is $66,000, which is absolutely fantastic on 2 properties. And you're just getting started, just the beginning, right?
Yes, we are.
So awesome.
Now, some of you guys may be going, well, $600, that's great, but nothing to write home about. But think about this. Not only do they have the 680, which they didn't have before, right? But now they get $66,000 of equity that they didn't have before. At some point, they can either do a cash out refinance or sell that property. And how many more properties do you think they could buy based on how they're doing? Right? They did $10,000 out of pocket. That's maybe a little unusual. But even if it was $20,000 out of pocket, that's 3 more properties right there.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
So I know you're just kind of still new, but so far, how has Lifestyles changed your life? And you told us you made money 5 different ways. You're able to spend more time with family and ultimately leave a legacy for your kiddos. And I know we talked earlier, you have a teenager. Maybe we're going to get him into the 2-day and get them involved, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, I can't wait to get my son in. I was telling him, you always want to invest in real estate. Have that in your back pocket.
Absolutely.
Your plan B or plan A, you know.
And remember, if you're a member and you've got teenagers, you can bring them to the 2-day, and you don't pay extra or anything like that. So definitely encourage that. And then it's your goal. What's next? Short term? Long term?
We definitely want to buy some more properties like that last one.
Yeah. 10 more of those bad boys, right?
We like to say they're like potato chips. You know, once you have one, you just can't stop. You got to keep going.
Exactly. And then long term, of course, you want to get into some passive deals, but ultimately, you know, be real estate retired.
And I don't know if we fully explained passive deals, but when members put together buying an apartment complex, usually it's way too much money for anybody to take it down themselves, particularly if it's a big one. And so we will pool our funds, and many of the members that put in money are simply passive investors, sometimes called limited partners. So how much, you know, they do almost no work. Or actually, they do no work, literally do no work at all on the property. And the lead is the one who does all the managing on the property.
Absolutely. So on this one, I know we didn't talk too much about it, but you do your own management, you find your own tenants, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. We have a great team, and we use, I think it was NTN.
NTN, yeah.
NTN does the background checks. And
Perfect, okay. I know we've kind of talked about, we've talked about how to run backgrounds and how to find good tenants. So remember, we'll help you with that.
We
If you
cover
decide-
we cover that on the weekend. Yeah.
Yep, and if you decide not to use a property manager, you want to do it yourself, I will show you every step of the way. That's probably one of my favorite parts. So we're here for you. So awesome,
Okay.
cool. Oh, shout outs?
shout outs.
Shout out. Mentors, so myself and Jillian. Realty, you've used Adrienne. Did you use her on both
On
properties?
both properties,
Both
absolutely.
acquisitions?
Yes,
Okay.
she's real good.
She's a rock star.
Yeah.
And then hard money, that's your investor money, right? You've used Red Door and Searchers Capital.
Right. Hard money for Red Door was on my first property, and then hard money was Searchers on this property, and then we refinanced both of them to Gateway.
Perfect.
Yep. And absolutely, we used shout out to the 401k lawyer Henry Novak. We used him as well.
There he is.
You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
We used him.
Give him a hand. Awesome job, guys.
Any questions for Danny or Luisa?
Questions online.
The question
Yes.
was, for the people online, the question was, can you explain the 401k a little bit?
Absolutely. First of all, they told me you want to have a good marriage. But I was able to gift 100% of my 401k to my spouse, and we're able to avoid having paying the penalties. And yeah, so we already had a game plan what we're going to use that money for. And absolutely,
So you took 100% of it?
100% of it. Right. Yeah.
When you take the money out, there would be taxes on that, but they quadrupled their money.
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, you know, people go, oh my gosh, I don't want to pay the 10% penalty, but you can quadruple your money, right? So
You offset
just
it.
do the math.
Yep.
Question online. Jody,
Yes.
what is the formula for cash-on-cash return and return on equity capture?
Okay, cash on cash return is your cash flow divided by your
You want to go back to the slide?
Oh, yeah.
You
Is
can
this
see that.
somebody testing me?
Yeah, did we do the math right? Hopefully. Hopefully.
Okay, cash on cash return. That's going to be your cash out of pocket divided by, no, I'm sorry, your cash flow divided by your cash out of pocket.
So 2460 divided by 10,300 is 24%.
And that's your net cash flow, by the way.
Right.
Yep.
And the return on equity capture is your equity divided by your cash out of
Cash out
pocket.
of pocket.
And we teach that, we'll dive more into that on the 2-day, but that's your easy formula for that.
Yeah, by the way, that equity captures in addition to the $10,000 they put into it.
In addition to your tax write-offs, and all this income is tax-free, or
Yep.
tax deferred.
Tax deferred. We'll
Good
talk about that. That's
question.
one of my favorite topics, tax deferred.
Got one over here. Oh,
Oh.
sorry.
The question, yeah, sorry, go
The
ahead.
question was, what was one of your biggest hurdles when you bought your first property getting started?
I think maybe just getting over the fear and then also being able to see like the potential in the property. It was very raw, and then to see like completion, it was beautiful. And
Yeah.
no, that one didn't have you in the first one.
The first one did.
The first property didn't. It was already like demoed and everything ready for us, but the way we fixed it, everybody wants, it's easy to rent it again.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second one as well, we fixed it nice and pretty, and like there was tons of people that were wanting to rent the house.
So no trouble finding tenants?
No, it was super easy and super
In Lifestyles, we talk about best product, best price, right? Think about any product you're out there buying. Any product, if it's giving you great value, you're going to buy that one over the one that doesn't give you great value. So they put together a product that delivers great value to renters, and it gets rented. Pretty simple.
How long was your rehab and when did you have it rented out?
His question was, how long was the rehab, the first or second property? Second one? How long was your rehab? How long did the rehab take?
The rehab, my second rehab took a little bit longer. We were right at the 6-month mark because we had some issues at the beginning, but we got over that.
You had some problems with your contractor, right? If I remember correctly, yeah.
But you
Sometimes
didn't
that
go-
happens.
Did you go over budget, or you stayed in your budget?
We actually stayed in
Stayed in budget.
Yeah.
But the great thing is we rented them like in 1 week. I got a renter in 1 week. On the
Yeah,
first
she's a
one
rock
and the
star.
second
They're
one.
rock stars.
You need a job at we got apartments. We need leasing agents. There was one more question over here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how much time do you put into those properties now?
Good question. How much time do you put into 2 rental properties now that they're already rented? Do you go and knock on the door, rent's due?
Absolutely not. I mean, I told them if there's an issue, email me, and then we'll take it from there. And so far, no emails, no phone calls. We try to fix these properties up really nice so that we don't get those phone calls.
Right, not slumlords. Right, we don't do the bare minimum. We do everything to avoid that being a headache. So, good question.
And then also we like set up all the bank to pay the mortgage real quick. You just
Auto
click
pay.
and auto pay and it does it.
Do your
It
tenants
manages
pay rent
itself.
online or? Okay,
Yeah, they pay us through Zelle.
Zelle, there you go. Okay, good. So the question is, how much time each week when the house is being renovated, estimate or so, did you spend?
Okay, our first property was so easy because we just wrote a check and we'd go see it whenever we want to go see it. Our second property, we kind of took over the role as a GC, so we just hire like a plumber, and then I'd probably go there like maybe once every 2 weeks or whatever. Just hey, there's an update. All right, cool, we'll go, and it's whenever you want, really, because we didn't really need to be there.
Constantly.
You know, yeah.
Cool.
Yes, the second time, yeah, we actually, we wanted to stay within budget, so towards the end, we did hire other contractors that, we had a handyman also that would help us out, and we were able to get that still within budget.
Now, generally, in Lifestyles, we don't recommend working on your own project because then you get overloaded just doing that. Now, he ended up having problems with, they had problems with a general contractor, so they took it over and finished the job to get it done. So,
Yeah, I learned a lot during that process, and that's what I wanted to do. Is one of the things is I wanted to learn. I didn't want to go straight to passive. I wanted to like buy properties and kind of learn and grow, and then later on, you know, you can always cash in and go straight to.
So you can be as active as you want. I mean, you can be there every day. Sometimes that's a little overkill. I would say when it's being rehabbed, I like to be there, check on it once a week, definitely before you're writing a check. Make
Right.
sure, and we'll teach you details on that, but you want to make sure that there's been progress before you're paying your team, right?
and Danny's a mechanic, right? So he's probably good with his hands, so that helps. But the last thing I know tons of people that would say, I got to do all my own renovations, and then they spend 2 years renovating the property, and they've killed the business deal, right? So you usually do better if you can find a good contractor and they get in and out in very short order. How long was the total rehab on the first property that you didn't have issues?
3 I think that one was 3 months. The first one was 3 months.
3 months, okay.
3 months.
And everything on it.
Top to bottom rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wonderful. Any other questions online? Okay.
All right.
Well,
Give 'em a
great.
big
Thank
hand,
you guys.
guys.
Give 'em a hand.